everyone, welcome to my pick a card channel, the Tarot Cottage. My name is Amy and I'm here with a pick a card reading for you. And today's topic is all about November 2025 in love and what you can expect. Maybe you're in a relationship or maybe you're single, maybe you're just kind of playing the field. But what can you expect as far as transitions in love in 2025 November? There are 3 piles to choose from here today, of course. Pile number 1 with the Page of Wands, pile number 2 with the Tower, and pile number 3 with the Fool. So whichever pile or piles you're calling out to or are calling out to you, you may be able to find the timestamps below, of course. If the message doesn't resonate with you, you can try a different pile or a different reading altogether. I've got lots to choose from on my main page. But also welcome back to my beautiful returning subscribers. Thank you so much for all of your kind comments. Thank you for all of your engagement. I really appreciate your friendship. If you are new to the channel, welcome to the Tarot Cottage. We have a beautiful soul family here. We would love to have you join it. And as a thank you for your presence, I do offer a chance to win a free reading from me. And all you have to do is drop your comment below for your chance to win. And I will notify you below your comment if you are chosen the winner. I will be choosing more winners between now and Christmas because I'm wanting to give back to my community. So be sure to drop your comments and hit your notification bell so that I can notify you and let you know underneath your comment that you were chosen. We can get the ball rolling. I would love to read for you. But for today's pick a card topic, pile 1, pile 2, pile number 3, what can you expect in November 2025 in love? Hello, pile number 1. You were drawn to the Page of Wands. I almost said Page of Wand pile, but you were drawn to the Page of Wands, and this is your reading for November 2025. What can you expect in love? I love the Page of Wands. It's filled with excitement. Look how happy this character is. It's all about freedom and exploration, and maybe you've been searching, and maybe November's really kind of kicking the search into high gear, but this is supposed to be a fun period of self-discovery, of discovering other people. We don't take things too seriously. It's a really good time. So hopefully that will transcend into your reading. I'm going to use the Modern Witch Tarot for you today. What can pile 1 expect in November 2025 in love? 6 of Pentacles coming out first. And they showed me the 4 of Cups as well. I feel like you could be talking to multiple people, maybe even leading up to November, and there's some of them that are going to fizzle out, I feel, or have fizzled out, or they're starting to kind of ignore you, or maybe you're ignoring them. This is all a part of the process of selection. They just want you to understand that this is a part of it. We have the 10 of Swords coming through. We have the Emperor, a lot of Aries energy coming through. We have the 7 of Cups. Oh, I just saw the star. The internet could be playing a major role here. Here is the Queen of Pentacles. Here's the 4 of Wands. And there's the 4 of Swords showing itself as well. So we're going to clarify this as we go forward. For November 2025 in love, for pile number 1, please. What are you predicting? We have the Chariot. We have the Magician. Now, I do feel like you are going to be perhaps exploring multiple options in November. I think one of these options I feel like there's a chemistry there. I think that you like this person. There is a feeling about really feeling this mutual exchange, and it's really flowing really well. I can't deny, I think that one of these options is going to disappoint you. Maybe the communication fizzles out, or maybe the chemistry kind of fizzles out between the two of you. Again, Spirit says this is all a part of the process of selection. It's all a part of a learning curve. So they're kind of highlighting the old message or the old saying that I heard Blanche Devereaux say. It was actually Rue McClanahan, but she said her mother told her that every kick's a boost in the right direction. So every rejection is actually helping you get to where you need to go. Here's Justice. And the truth is that people are showing you who they are quickly. It's kind of, that's the beauty of the internet now. It's that we can swipe right, we can swipe left. Like there's this instant decision that can sometimes be made. And one of these options, as I said, you're sorting through them this month, but one of these options I feel like you start to invest a little bit more of your emotions into one of the options, and I do think that they might disappoint you. That's why Spirit's asking you to maintain this aptitude throughout the month of November, so that you just look at things as fun and maybe brief or temporary, so that you can feed your curiosity and get enough information to make a really important choice about who deserves to be with you. Future position, we have the beautiful Queen of Pentacles. Here we also have the Ace of Swords and the Knight of Pentacles. Now, one of these options is very reliable. This person's like willing to prove themselves. I feel like they come in at the almost like the exact same time, or they are one of the options that exists when you get disappointed by someone that you had connected with, someone that you were talking to. Spirit says that that person's being emotionally pulled in different directions anyway. So the reason why they could disappoint you is because they could be talking to other people, but there's no real commitment here anyway at this moment in time. It still feels disappointing because it was there, you saw potential in it, and now that potential sort of gets scattered around, but it feels like someone else is coming in to swoop up that potential. They're showing me like the sorting hat from Harry Potter. It's like you're sorting yourself into different homes or different houses. And truthfully, I feel like Spirit says that this reliable energy, you actually could be talking to them from after the first week, like moving into the second week of November, and you're consistently talking to this person throughout November. Again, at the exact same time that maybe you're also talking to another person, that you sort of start to put your hopes into that basket. Spirit says that's what the Page of Wands doesn't do. They don't put their hopes in any basket. They explore. They gather the information that's necessary, and they keep it moving. Because all of these options are trying to bring you to a place of confidence, and they're actually saying that by the end of November, you're going to be feeling very confident. You're actually going to be probably happy that the things that didn't turn out here. Here's the Four of Swords here, because it all kind of rolls back to justice for you. We have a beautiful outcome here by the end of the month with the Queen of Pentacles and the Six of Wands. You may still feel like an independent, but you feel more confident with where you're headed. And I also feel like there's going to be perhaps some regret coming in from people that didn't choose you, for instance, when they see how you react to that. Like you're not going to let that hold you back. You may be disappointed for a short period of time, but their loss is someone else's gain. And I just feel like there's someone who's consistently fueling you with so many like beautiful accolades. They're coming forward with all sorts of beautiful things to say to you and about you. They're really laying it on thick. And I think that you're a bit guarded to let them in emotionally because you get disappointed at the beginning of the month. This person that you're talking to at the beginning of the month that disappoints you, I don't think they're necessarily coming in November. You may already be speaking to them here in October. But they're going to I think they're going to disappoint you. And Spirit says they could disappoint you. Maybe they've already recently disappointed you. Spirit says if they have, don't worry. There's lots of options coming through. There is a feeling of the Queen of Pentacles ending the month very, very strong. Back of the deck, we have the Devil. We also have here the Nine of Wands. And here's the Six of Swords. Somebody's burning a bridge with you. Somebody's biting the hand that feeds. Maybe due to their own insecurity. And that's their energy to deal with. That's their circus, their monkey to deal with. We also have a lot of Capricorn, a lot of Libra energy coming through here as well. I feel like this person is a really good option that comes in for you in November. Again, around the second week. I feel like they are so reliable and they're willing to do the legwork. I think you could still be talking to this person, maybe going out with this person, exceeding November, moving into December. We have the Lamb. And they're kind of bringing it over here to the Ten of Swords energy. There's a reference to meek as a lamb, or feeling, they always think of like weakness or softness with the lamb. And so the fragility, you still have a fragile heart. Things are still going to, affect you sometimes, but Spirit says don't let these disappointments impact you, because every disappointment, again, every kick's a boost, getting you to where you deserve to be. And they're also highlighting the diamond shape as well, being forged under pressure, and how this diamond sort of has all the colors of the rainbow, highlighting the full spectrum. So it's like people will show you what they are capable of very quickly, especially because they're highlighting the internet being used for some here. We have the Cobra. They're speaking about defensiveness. And we have the Firefly. So embrace the pulsing light of the Firefly, especially in regards to something that you currently are investing in, or something that you may be bringing into the month of November that could disappoint you, but don't hold on too tight. That's what they're saying. Don't hold on too tight. That's what the Page of Wands does when they're exploring, when they're going through these phases. Maybe you've recently been really disappointed, and maybe you don't want to commit to anything. You're kind of anxious about trying again. But Spirit says they want you to be out in the world. They want you to try again, because you deserve to be sitting in a position where you feel confident and you feel like you've arrived. Back of the deck promises sweet results, but they say you're sacrificing something that you're perhaps hoping will work out, or you're hoping that will maintain. It may not be the person you think is going to be standing next to you at the end of that month that you think is going to be standing next to you at the end of that month. It was redundant, but you have here time to release your ex. 10 of Swords coming through. Call your energy back from people that have disappointed you. If they disappoint you, it's just information that they needed to give you about their ability to disappoint. And sometimes we have to run with that information. We can't try to convince ourselves or other people that to rearrange their actions for us. All we can do is claim our independence and keep moving forward through the options. We have codependency, though. Addictions are affecting our romantic life. This codependency could be connected to someone that we kind of really have our hopes set on. They do feel like it could be a different person coming through, so pay attention to the red flags. They are cautioning you. Pay attention to people that are not giving you what you deserve. If there's an imbalance in action, pay very close attention to that. We also have honesty, heart-to-heart conversations. Honestly discuss your feelings with each other, and it's going to be a very heavy month when it comes to communication and the influence that has. We have here painting the roses red, covering up errors. There's these roses of the white rose of hope, and now she's painting them red for empowerment. So it's like hope may be dashed in one environment, but you've got options and you've got stamina. And Spirit says that you're going to turn a loss or a disappointment into something powerful for yourself. Lots of confidence being reinstated for you by the end of that month. Back of deck says impossible things, working through disbelief, imaginative leaps, and fresh perspective. And that's why perhaps with the 10 of Swords we couldn't imagine a different perspective, or we couldn't imagine going from the 10 of Swords to the Queen of Pentacles and the 6 of Wands. But that's exactly what's going to happen for you. And November is going to be a big month. It's going to be a big month that brings you out of a maybe feeling out of a fog or out of a rut, and moving into so many options, and moving into like an option that's willing to like put the time in. It's like a complete contrast to what you've already experienced. Let's get a charm bowl for pile number 1 for November. 3 of Cups, you're going out a lot. You're going out a lot, and the 10 of Wands is reversed, which is a wonderful position for it, because it's speaking about unburdening yourself, taking off the burdens that belong to other people. It's like you're washing your weary spirit clean. I think you're going to be going out a lot in November. The 3 of Cups is an invitation for you to have fun, for you to say yes to invitations that are encouraging you to get out of the house. Also, it's speaking about like going in a different direction than you think that you were going to go in. We have a lot going on. This particular heart had the G and the X next to it. But Spirit says, now we have the pineapple too, a symbol for me of like swapping partners, and someone, it's like ending up with someone at the end of the month that we didn't anticipate, because maybe we were dealing with someone else at the beginning of the month. We have the letter K, Z, and W. We have Gemini coming through. We also have Aquarius. We also have Capricorn, live, laugh, and love. Now we also have the Hanger, and Spirit says you don't wait for anyone. They don't want you to put yourself in a closet and stay there until the month is over, until somebody comes up and leads. That's why they're encouraging you to get back out there, go out, have fun, explore your options. A beautiful option is going to present itself to you. Even if you're kind of Spirit says you might feel a little rigid towards it. You might be untrusting because you just went through this cycle. But there's lots of communication. They're even highlighting karaoke for someone. And they're speaking about like reinstating the sovereignty, the abundance in the divine feminine as well. They're talking as well about maybe a period of sadness or depression that you've just recently come out of. All right, pile number 1, that's what I have for you today for November 2025 in love. Please consider dropping a comment below and subscribing to the channel so that you can be entered for a chance to win a free reading with me. You can also check out my link for Etsy for a personalized reading, and I do update that shop daily. If you would be so kind as to share this video, it really helps me to bring more content to you as well. But I hope you come back and visit me at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a great day. Hello, pile number 2, you were drawn to the Tower, and this is your reading. What can you expect in November 2025 in love? Now, the Tower can feel nefarious. I know that sometimes gets a bad reputation in tarot, but the truth is that this Tower is pretty optimistic. We have a lot of transformation with the butterflies. We have this squirrel and the acorns, which is talking about new potential, new growth, but having the courage to plant it as well, which could lead to a lot of change. So November could actually be very transformative for you when it comes to love. It also reminds us that the butterfly's transformation can sometimes be a little bit painful. So they're highlighting that you may have had to go through like a period of pain or a transition period to get here, and how that might affect your confidence a little bit. But we're going to use the Pasta Tarot for you today. What can pile number 2 anticipate when it comes to love in November 2025? Oopsie daisy. Okay. Here we have the 5 of Swords and the 5 of Cups. You can see that they've spilt all the pasta shells here, and there's conflict with the 5 of Swords. We have the Sun coming out. Spirit feels like sometimes we can go from a rigid, stubborn focus. There's the Tower coming through with the Wheel of Fortune. We have the Hanged Man. And it's really funny that this Hanged Man is a piece of wet pasta that they've thrown at the wall to see if it sticks, to see if it's done. I think that there's an important message waiting there for you. We have here the 4 of Wands. Back of the deck we have the 4 of Swords, and we have the Ace of Swords. Sorry about my throat. And I'm going to clarify this as we go forward. Now, the 4 of Swords as back of deck does speak to, again, with the Ace of Swords, brings us right back down to the 5 of Swords. So conflict, a period of healing, maybe that you're kind of experiencing right this moment, leading into November. And there's a bit of a defense energy that comes in when we're in this healing phase. Like we're trying to move through a grief cycle, perhaps. Maybe we are afraid, it's like we're holding on to this rigid focus of healing and reservations about love. But change is coming for us anyway, regardless of which way we're leaning. So change is coming for you in November. And Spirit says this change could be really important. I don't think you're going back to that state of conflict. I don't think you're going back to something in the past. But they say that you are going to be changing your focus. You are going to stop a rigid logic that you've been holding on to. It's like right now you could be really angry and mad and sad all at the same time. It's like, I'm holding on to that. I'm holding on to that in November. I refuse to let it go. But Spirit's actually saying that there's a change coming in that's going to tempt you to change your perception of things in a very positive way, I should say. They're setting the table. Look at how they're feeding this whole table of people. They're setting the table for something big in November. Now, of course, you are the squirrel. The squirrel does everything afraid. Sometimes they plant a seed and they even forget where they planted it, and it ends up growing in a huge forest. So there's this reference of like you having to test your faith, having to test yourself when it comes to fear, and taking leaps of faith as well to help to push this tower completely over. Here's the Lovers. Because you're holding on to this rigid perspective without getting all the information about what's coming in. And that's what this reading will be for, is for you to get the information that truly you're in for some major upgrades. The things that are happening in November, I feel like they have longevity. I think they're going to be extending far beyond November, if I'm being honest. But that's where this message of the Hanged Man comes in, about throwing something at the wall and letting it stick, or seeing if it's done, seeing if it sticks. I feel like that's what the attitude that you're taking towards the situation, because you're hesitating. This Five of Pentacles is someone who's, again, stuck in this 5 realm, on the wrong side of the hurdle of ascension, who's lost something. The butterfly of transition is there, but she's not looking at it yet because her sadness is there, or her loss is still sitting there. But the chameleon has its eyes looking all around. The chameleon has these eyes that can see, like, basically the full spectrum and from every single angle. And this is kind of like your higher self or your guides coming in saying, you don't see everything right now because you're sitting in this state of grief. But we have upgrades coming for you. We have longevity potentially coming for you. We have permanent changes in your perceptions about this grief coming for you. Here's the World on back of deck. Because the Four of Wands is celebration. There's also giving me a reference of somebody getting a cold, or someone who's recently had a cold. So a little bit under the weather in the month of November. That I feel like they're only adding in because it could add to the overall feeling of morose, or the feeling of like despair that can come in with all of these fives, all of these obstacles that we're feeling. They do feel like emotional obstacles, not physical ones. But it's like we can gaslight ourselves into believing that it's true. Because truly, I feel like there is something very big to celebrate coming in for you. Here's the Eight of Swords. Back of the deck is coming out with the Three of Cups. Back of the deck is the Ten of Swords and the Two of Cups. Because again, this Ten of Swords is just a support to my support. And together, the 10 and the 4 of Swords is temperance. So we actually have relationships that are coming forward for you in November. Opportunities in relationships. I feel like this forms when you allow it. I feel like this will form if and when you choose to push this tower over and give yourself the permission to surrender to an opportunity, even if you feel afraid or even if you feel tested. They're asking you to choose between the past and the future. And they're asking you to choose without the rigid focus of loss as your main motivator or motivating factor in this moment, because we have the Two of Cups sitting here. But they're saying that we're redirecting our expectations. It's not going to be someone from the past. It's going to be brand new energies. And we could have our heart set on or be really attached to reminiscing or something from the past that is being kept from us in November. But this is where Spirit's advice comes through, where they're asking you to give it a chance to see if it sticks. Because they say if you surrender to this new opportunity and you give yourself the permission to launch into new things, then your perspective here is going to adjust and change. They're showing the chameleon changing color to the environment. And ultimately moving into a relationship perhaps that is mutually giving. There's generosity here. Spirit says November is a month of you walking away from old things and moving towards new things. But Spirit says you have to plant that seed. This tower is not going to fall over on its own. They understand you're in a healing phase. They want to help you. They want to minister to you during this period of time. They're trying to grab your ear and not let your ego have you stay so totally attached to something that it impedes your progress. It's okay to be sad, but Spirit says we have to be sad and keep moving forward. Because Spirit says that you're not actually losing anything. Truly, that is meant for you. You're gaining something. You're gaining a new relationship. You have the Nightingale. Now, the Nightingale always reminds me of communication. I just heard sing Sweet Nightingale. And they want you to, they just said, find comfort in the night. We have the Oyster. I do think of Virgo with the Oyster, and we have the Phoenix rising from the ashes. Now, the truth is that they're also saying that November, even though we have new opportunities coming and open to us, I feel like you're still influenced heavily from the past. This means you could still be in contact with those people from the past. But this is where, you know, the buffalo, they're speaking here about abundance that provides in all ways. And notice how the buffalo has a lightning bolt in behind it, a very strong nudge to the tower as well. The buffalo charges through forgiveness cycles, charges through obstacles overall. And in this moment, the buffalo is encouraging us to push that tower over. Back of the deck is the beaver. Now this could speak to work realms, or that being a part of this story for someone. Is it evolving in the work realm? But it's also an encouragement from your guides to just go ahead and do it. Just go ahead and take that leap of faith, because you deserve abundance, and that's not what you've been experiencing in these past connections anyway. They're promising that this is an upgrade of a relationship. They're actually saying for some, this Four of Wands, the Seven of Pentacles speaks again to longevity and the potential for so much more moving into the future in this connection. But it does come at the cost of an old energy. The Mortality card says life is brief, bright, beautiful, and yours to live. They really want you to take advantage of opportunities that arise in November. They won't be dangled in front of us forever. We have the choice. It's always free will when it comes to opportunity and sort of fateful opportunities that come through with the Wheel of Fortune. This is a turn of events in your favor, but free will dictates whether or not we're going to allow that turn of events in. Don't forget who you are. Forget who you are. Conditioning falls away. Memory no longer defines who you are. We also have here changed in the night. You have changed quickly, and that's what the Tower does. Back of deck, this came out in pile 1 as well. Painting the roses red on the back of deck, covering up the roses, covering up hope that we've been holding, perhaps from the past, changing directions when we don't see the progress there, and moving into a state of empowerment, which is our right. The Tower speaks about things that happen overnight, changes that happen to your emotions, changes that happen in your practical world that change everything. And it feels like it's true to you, like you deserve this type of abundance now. Let's get a charm bowl, please, for pile number 2 for November in 2025. Oopsie daisy, I missed the bowl completely. 5 of Pentacles now coming out, the Page of Swords and the King of Pentacles. It almost doesn't even feel like you're looking for love, truthfully. It doesn't even feel like you're looking for it. I feel like it kind of finds you in some way, because we're still anchored here in these 5s, and we've been there maybe for a little bit too long. Now, they are saying someone from your past is still influencing you because they get really jealous easily, and it's like they don't like to think of you moving forward, but they have no follow through. And we've already learned this lesson perhaps repeatedly because we've observed it for so long. That's why they're encouraging you to be like the Divine Feminine in this little card and push forward. It's like, it sounds harsh, but we've got to leave them in the dust, so to speak. We have to leave them behind. We We have here unfinished cycles. I do still feel like you're dealing with communication from someone from your past too, but your higher self, your high priestess, the crescent moon is out because we already know what to expect from that situation. We actually have the fish bones. It's the white fish bones, which is actually a beautiful, optimistic energy, because that does remind me the fish bones are always the Ten of Swords. So this is endings, but the white fish bones, as opposed to the black or the pink or the blue, the white fish bones is optimistic. It's redirection. It's new perspectives. It's healing. It's changing your course. We have a lot of Pisces energy coming through with the fish though, and we do have wish. So you might have a desire associated with, especially with the past. You have a wish to experience something loyal. And again, I think ideally it would come from the past, but Spirit feels something new coming into your life. They say you are gaining mastery over dealing with your fear of loss here. We also have the letter Y. Now the letter Y is reversed, highlighting the Judgment reversed, speaking to our fear of change and a weakness. Someone that comes in that's a bit of a weakness from our past that's going to interrupt our focus for change in the future. But that is what I have for you today, pile number 2. Please drop your comment below for your chance to win a free reading with me. You can also check out my link for Etsy for a personalized reading as well, and that link is always updated. But I hope you come back and visit me at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a great day. Hello, pile number 3. You were drawn to the Fool, and this is your reading. What can you expect in November 2025 when it comes to love? Now, this Fool is not just jumping in head first. They're trusting that everything is going to work out by sort of trust falling into the future. They're holding on to that little circular shell. And I always think of the High Priestess when I see those shells, because it kind of hides little secrets. We can't see what's down there, as does our High Priestess or our higher self. So this is also your higher self, perhaps encouraging you to trust them, encouraging you to take leaps of faith out of your comfort zone in the month of November. But let's take a look here. This is the Guardian of the Night Tarot that I'm using for you today, pile 3. What can pile 3 expect in the month of November in 2025 in love? We have the Chariot. It's a badger inside a hen house. A reference to sort of like taking action even if we're afraid. We have the Star. We have the Nine of Cups. We have the Four of Cups. Really highlighting the death energy with the 9 and 4 of Cups. We have the 10 of Wands showing itself. Back of the deck we have the 10 of Cups. And we have the Justice. Let's clarify this as we go forward here. Now we have here the Five of Wands coming reversed. I love that. I love that the Five of Wands is reversed for you, because that always gives me a symbol of harmony and success. We have the Three of Cups. We have the Empress, and there's the two completely different decks, but they're highlighting the chicken. The chicken in this moment being highlighted as the High Priest, or I'm sorry, the Empress energy. We have the Nine of Wands. And we have the Queen of Wands. Back of the deck we do have the Lovers, which is beautiful, and we have we have the Hermit. Now, what's interesting here is that Spirit says that there's like a lot of like options coming in for you. And I don't feel like it's, again, multiple options in love, but they're saying that you have like a chance to take a trip or something with someone, and you might say no, you might resist it. You might resist taking a trip, or maybe traveling to meet someone or traveling to see someone. You may, and there may be practical issues why you don't feel like you can, like, but it's like your ego is going to come up with all sorts of reason why you shouldn't take the leap of faith, why you shouldn't take an invitation. But this, even the coffee, the Three of Cups says coffee, it says best in town, take a break. It's talking here about opportunity. You could be talking online to someone, and you may not be beginning that process in November. You could be, I'm reading for the collective, so please take the messages as they resonate. But for some, you may have already started talking to someone, and maybe we haven't met yet, or maybe we have, but maybe they've asked us to go somewhere, or they've asked us, even if it's a day trip. Spirit says they encourage you to say yes. They feel like this person comes in with a lot of confidence. It almost feels like you are a little intimidated by that confidence, to be honest with you. I feel like it kind of feels like a dreamboat coming in for you, where you're really attracted to this person, but you have to give yourself the permission to say yes. And they say that it's really pushing yourself out of your comfort zone, because maybe you're a homebody, or maybe you are just insecure about really launching yourself into this situation. Maybe you've held yourself back. But they're talking about like compartmentalizing relationships, and how it's like you put all of your relationships in the same box. And Spirit says this doesn't have to be like the rest. This person, even though they're coming forward with a lot of confidence, and maybe you've seen that confidence before, it doesn't mean that this person's going to take you in the same path that other people have taken you. And this is a way for you to gain mastery and to show determination, to trust in your higher self when they're kind of knocking at your door and asking you to pay attention to what's being shown to you. They're highlighting how you could keep yourself waiting for clarity and good things, including relationships, if we choose to retreat from it. This Cupid's arrow, this is relationships that are coming in out of the blue. This Cupid's arrow can take us to a lot of different destinations ultimately, and they're not promising we're making it to the altar in November of 2025. They're saying we launch ourselves in November of 2025 into this opportunity. And that's why your higher self is like right on board, nudging you in the right direction. You can see she's still kind of holding on to this, something that's inspired her from the past to be fearful, but your higher self is trying to encourage you to take that leap of faith. Even here with the salmon know how to make it to their spawning ground. Even though like they were just these tiny little eggs when they were spawned there, they somehow intuitively know how to get exactly where they were hatched. And they go through an amazing transformation in the process. So you surrendering to a new focus, you turning this resistance into force and into strength, and giving yourself the permission to enjoy something, and maybe to enjoy it without maybe even knowing where it's going to take you. That's what's actually rewriting the programming inside of you to replace the old programming of lack. So they're really encouraging you to plant the seeds here and to let yourself have some fun. Because this is a way of you, again, stepping into the divine feminine role where you're not chasing, you're allowing. You're allowing good things to come. You're not resisting them. You're giving yourself a chance to almost, they're talking about creative feedback from the experience. And sometimes we can just plug in what we expect to experience from like opportunities and invitations. And Spirit says you need to actually get that feedback. That's why this Five of Wands here is coming in the reverse. It's always a card of determination and a determined force. And in this case, they're asking us to allow ourselves to push through with the badger, to push past our fears represented by those chickens. And they said the results will be harmony, will be success for us. We have the Ten of Cups coming in. And I keep hearing the song, The Ants Go Marching Two by Two. Hurrah, hurrah. And this is always, when I think of an ant, I think of the divine feminine doing the work. But then they go on with that message saying, but the little one stops to tie his shoe. And they still go marching on and on and on. So it's like life is going to keep moving forward. We can keep hesitating, but then we're also kind of holding back our positive aspects. We're holding back our ability to start the process of building belonging in a new environment, in a new sort of energetic time frame. So there is the chance that you will get an invitation to go somewhere, or an invitation to go out, or to meet this person. You might have to travel a little bit to see this person, or maybe they have to travel to you, because there's the internet could be involved here. But this is an opportunity for you to pass the torch. It's like they're showing the Olympic torch. But we also have the tendency, perhaps in our energy field, to resist, to hesitate in an act of self-protection. That's why this little armadillo, or whatever he is curling himself up in a ball. But instead, this is the Hanged Man. He looks like the Hanged Man coming down. Now, the Nine of Wands, again, can feel like resistance. It's a strength card, but oftentimes it can feel like resistance. This one says Nine of Pleasures, giving yourself the permission to experience the land of pleasures, perhaps. Now, they're also saying that this meetup, if you do decide to trust yourself and move into it, you could have the opportunity or the invitation of something very physical happening. This is not your guide's way of saying you have to enter into a physical relationship. They're just trying to let you in on what may come across your path, what may be presented to you as an option. But here's the Magician. Here is the Justice. There's doors opening for you, opportunities, but you have to unlock them. They say that taking this passive approach isn't going to naturally bring you the Ten of Cups and bring you all the awareness that you're looking for. They want you to let yourself be seen, because it's like you don't see yourself as the prize, and Spirit says you are the prize here. Here's the Queen of Cups. Here's the Three of Wands on the back of the deck. If anything, they think that this trust fall and this experience is going to put the wind in your sails that are necessary to help you expand even further into the future. There is a feeling about being tempted as the Queen of Cups. You could be a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. We also have the Queen of Wands, so Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. We have a lot of Gemini coming through here too. We have Aquarius and Cancer coming through as well. But she looks like a mermaid, so there's a temptation aspect of it. A temptation. And they're saying, they're not asking you to fall in love right away. They're saying we're not trying to force love in this situation. We're trying to force a sense of confidence, a sense of control, a sense of opportunity. So when we look into the future, there we are standing. The Queen of Wands standing there, having all of her expectations fulfilled. But sometimes you may look at your future and think, oh, it's just wishful thinking. And that, again, is a message that our ego might use that may sound logical to stop us from trust falling into opportunities or relationships that could really take off. And we'll never know unless we try. With the Ten of Cups, it's the full spectrum. We'll never know unless we try. What does November 2025 look like in love, please? It has the potential to boost your own ego, to make you feel so good. It's like you feel wanted in November. You feel wanted, but then it almost creates this sense of anxiety or anxiousness about it. We have true love. This is the romance of a lifetime. We do have the Ten of Cups, which again is a very beautiful outcome, but it seems to come if we take that trust fall. Oh, I just saw reconciliation, but I also saw release your ex. We have retreat. It's time to disconnect from the world. You can see that they're in wedding clothes. We do also have the Hermit too. So it's about spending time alone with someone. And again, for some, this could actually be like a little mini trip, or it's like an invitation that they're going to be extending to you. Spirit says, give yourself a chance. We have soulmate energy coming through here too. Yes, this is your soulmate. Back of the deck says worth the wait. Divine timing has been at work in your love life. We have the Eagle. They're speaking about somebody who spends a lot of time in prayer, or who has prayed about their love life recently. And they're saying that the insecurities that come in, your angels want you to give them over to them. It's like, lay your worries at the foot of the cross. We'll take them to the Creator for you. And we have surrender with the Otter. They're asking you to just see where things take you. Back of the deck, we have the Snake, which for me, truthfully, the snake is a symbol of awareness. It's a symbol of our intuition. It's a symbol of awakening as well. We'll never know unless we try. There could be a lot of potential for someone watching here too. That's why your higher self is being so adamant about trust. It's like, I know she knows more, he or she knows more than you do because he or she has been there. We have here, we're all a little mad here. Everyone is a little bit different. And we have curiouser and curiouser, discovery. It says inquiry, weirdness, and curiosity. And it's going to be that curiosity that brings you into new beginnings, brings you into opportunities and change. We have all in the golden afternoon. It says inspiration, creative spark, imagination, and conception. And it does feel like the beginnings of something that could be really big and beautiful for you, pile 3. Let's get a charm bowl, please, for pile number 3 for November 2025 in love. It's out of the bowl. We have the 2 of Pentacles coming reversed, along with the Ace of Cups and the 10 of Wands sitting in the charm bowl. Now this 2 of Pentacles here, it's talking about feeling a little overwhelmed, feeling unsure, not feeling confident, maybe because of that fear of the unknown. Plenty of attraction, plenty of sparks between the 2 of you, and look what's sitting in the balance, just waiting. It's like acts of self-discipline that we know are good for us, are important for us to do, even when we don't want to do it, even when it tests our fears, because it's the ultimate form of self-love. And that's why they're really encouraging those leaps of faith into the unknown, because it's tackling those issues for you. And it'll help you arrive. I often say my 2 of Pentacles is my mini chariot, but it's like this inconsistent, there's unknowns associated with it. It's like I can't commit to a time frame. I can't commit to the action. But Spirit says the only way that we can achieve the chariot and the arrival of it is when we do so. Oops, this won't sit up for me. We do have under a microscope and the cassette replaying events over and over in our mind, perhaps connected to this 5. I think of the pentagram, I think of the 5 of Pentacles. It's now coming in reverse, which is actually a great sign. Again, just like the 5 of Wands reverse, it's kind of about forgiveness, moving on, giving yourself the permission to. But they say you're a bit of an overthinker, where you spend too much time observing something and not enough time including yourself in the event. We have R, W, and J. We do have opportunity, made with love, children. I often think of children here. And it says here, I will hold you in my heart until I hold you in heaven. So you may have a loved one who has crossed over, who's also helping to nudge you in the right direction. Pile number 3, that's what I have for you today. I hope it resonates. Drop your comment below for your chance to win a free reading with me. Be sure to hit your notification bell, of course. You can also check out my link for Etsy for a personalized reading if you feel called to, and that link is always updated. But please come back and visit me at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a beautiful day.